Yo, what's going on, my people? It's your boy Chris, and we're back. Listen, real quick, last week, man, I promise you, it was just the most crazy, wild week. Everything was trying to take me off my pivot in my real life and also online, bro. Listen, if you saw a Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core clip on my channel, first of all, no, you didn't. Second of all, why does PS4 just automatically upload without my consent to do so? That's the last time I'm going to be trying to send a clip to one of the boys over Discord. But either way, listen, today we're here with some more actionable tips on how to limit distractions when you're approaching your learning journey on this art stuff. Because again, I get it, you know, we all kind of have smaller attention spans than what we historically used to have, right? And part of that is our own fault, but part of it isn't, you know what I'm saying? And you know, these are just some tips to sort of, like, I guess, course correct and at least help with the focus, right? To where we can maximize the little bit amount of time we have when we want to study, right? Because I know I don't always have the most time to just, you know, sit down and draw. I asked you guys how long it took you guys to or how long you guys drew for, and you guys, you know, completely blew my expectations out of the water. Some of you guys were hitting like full workday hours, which is very, very impressive. So props to you. But without further ado, we're really going to get into this video. The first thing I gotta say, man, it's that damn phone. Listen, you gotta know how to put that phone away. I get it. It's super duper stimulating to just get a notification, right? But I don't even think it's enough to silence notifications, because I know when I do that, I still will open up the app and be like, all right, who just texted me, or what just happened on Twitter, or what just happened on Instagram. I think the best way to rectify this problem is to have your phone in a different room for just a set amount of time. If you're studying for an hour, 2 hours, you can go without your phone for an hour or 2 hours. There are like very few circumstances where you need your phone right then and there at all times, right? So I think an hour or 2 hours without your phone is very, very healthy, and it's just a healthy habit to have in general. You don't want to be addicted to this thing. It's already got our lives pretty much roped inside of it, and you know, we're so interdependent on it. And I feel like, you know, the more we start to kind of unwind that rope that's, like, you know, kind of wrapped around our whole existence, that being this phone, I think the better we'll be as people in general. It'll be a lot easier to get things done, and I think your attention span will improve. So I think if you have a different room to put this in, put your phone in a different room for the period of time you're going to study, or at least the period of time you're going to deep study. It'll really help. So yeah, that damn phone is the first tip. Second tip, it kind of is a piggyback off of that, man. Social media, and I kind of alluded to this earlier, but like, yeah, listen, getting that Snapchat, that Instagram, that Twitter, whatever the case so happens to be, I promise you, you could just, you could get lost, you know what I'm saying? Scrolling endlessly on TikTok, scrolling endlessly on YouTube, scrolling endlessly on Instagram. It's very easy to get roped into that. And again, the cure to that is to have your phone in a different room. But let's say that for whatever reason you just can't have your phone in a different room because you're maybe using it for like references or something, right? Okay, I will put your phone on bedtime mode. This is what I do. That way notifications pretty much don't come through. Like, they'll still happen, and like if you close your phone, right, and then you like turn it back on and you have the lock screen on, you'll see the notifications, but it's not popping up while you're looking at your phone. So that way you can focus on at least what you're looking at on your phone, whether it be a reference or some sort of a color palette you're looking at, right? Without having to see the pop-ups that kind of, you know, distract your brain when they happen, right? So I think that's just a really smart tip to kind of follow. I think, again, the best way to just not even have this be an issue for the time you're studying is to just have your phone in a different room. This is what I do typically. But again, we're talking about, you know, if that just cannot happen for you, right? And I think bedtime mode also dims all of the colors, which, again, I guess if you're looking at a color palette, that may be a little bit of an issue. However, if you're not and you're just working on drawings, right, it's pretty good for, like, you know, looking at values too, you know. Everything is grayscale, so you can see, okay, what pops about this picture, what doesn't. And I don't know, it's just a small thing that I do. But yeah, and I just have my phone on bedtime mode pretty much all day. I don't want to be super duper distracted, and you know, whenever I can shut my phone off, I try to shut it off. I just feel a lot better about being a human when I'm actually doing human things and not always on my phone. So yeah, those two tips are very, very connected. But yeah, man, tip number 3 or thing number 3 is distracting TV and movies. So listen, I get it, folks. I get it. These TV shows are fire as hell nowadays. We got The Last of Us, we got Game of Thrones, we got Breaking Bad, we got all sorts of anime that are super dope. Don. We got One Piece, right? For my One Piece fans, we got all sorts of just dope shows out right now. And I get it, man. It's tough to like not use the time you're drawing to also catch up on those shows. And honestly, I don't even necessarily have a problem with it, but I'd say try and split it. You know what I'm saying? If you are trying to watch a show, and let's say you just work for like, 2 hours, drawing a day, right? I would spend 1 hour at least fully focusing on the thing that you're doing. And then the next hour, I would do it, I would split my time up to where it's like, 80% doing the thing that I'm doing and 20%, watching TV, right? This is how I would do it, just because I found that, like, for me, trying to pay attention to the plot and really follow along on TV shows when I'm trying to like actively study, and again, pay attention to that word, actively study, I'm not, putting as much brain power towards learning art as I could be, right? And I'm very much a person about like, efficiency when it comes to improving. So again, if there's a way to increase efficiency, which again, kind of limiting TV does that, then I'm going to take it. So again, this is kind of just a tip that I use. I don't really, watch TV that much while I'm drawing these days. But I do occasionally, right? So it's just one of those things where you kind of have to know how to balance it. So it's not something you have to completely shut out, but I would say try and find that balance where you can have a period of time, at least, whether it's the first 30 minutes or first 40 minutes where you were just locked in 100%. And then after you've done that for a good amount of time, then you can kind of ease up off the gas pedal and, kind of finish out your session with some TV or, whatever the case happens to be, right? So not a complete distraction, but, it can be a detriment if you let it. So just keep that in mind. The last thing I'll say, and this is going to be another kind of hot one, I think certain kinds of songs can really distract you from your art. Now, I get it, because we're artists, we're just going to like all sorts of different types of music, man. I love to listen to my R&B, I love to listen to my jazz, I love to listen to my hip hop, and I love to listen to my rock too, man. I love all of that stuff. So it's like, I'm not even immune to this all 100%. However, though, I will say, throughout the past year, what I have been doing is limiting the amount of times I listen to that kind of music when I'm trying to, again, actively study. And when I say actively study, I just mean like completely try and understand or engross myself with the content I'm trying to understand, whether it's perspective, anatomy, or gesture, right? So if I'm trying to learn these concepts, I feel like I work way more efficiently when I have either lo-fi on, chill hop music, or jazz, or classical music. Any of those sorts of genres of music, I think, really do help me, because it's not gonna distract me with like, how dope the song is, or how dope or how close the lyrics hit to home, or anything like that, man. So I feel like, again, if you are struggling with a lot of distractions, possibly look into your music choice too. Again, I know some people can work without any distraction, with like the most screamo of metal bands in their ear, and all I gotta say is more power to you. You are probably the one out of like, hundreds of people that can just do that and be unaffected. But if you're anything like me, bro, you're going to start bopping your head. You're going to start doing the Dougie. You're going to start dance. You're going to start just, doing small bullshit things until eventually you're not even really you just rapping the lyrics too. You just out here rap. They not like, you know what I'm saying? Like if the song is fire, the song is fire. You feel me? But like, that's my point though, is that like, sometimes it could just be a little bit distracting, and sometimes having that step back, putting on that ambient music or putting on that ambient sounds too, like wave crashing sounds, nature walks, anything that's really relaxing to just, kind of clear your head and like, prime your brain to focus on something else that isn't the thing that's on, is going to help you focus a lot better. So again, these are just some tips that I follow to really limit the distractions when I'm drawing, because again, I don't have as much time in the day to draw. And maybe if you have more time in the day to draw, you can afford to do a few more of these things and be okay. But like for me, it's like, because I do other things, like I got a job, I got stuff I got to do, I have bills I got to pay. When it's time to draw, I want to make sure that I am maximizing those 2 hours that I got, because that's really all I got. And if you have responsibilities in life, you may have less time to me. So if you have more responsibilities than me, then I think even more so you should be limiting the distractions you have in your life, so you can at least maximize that amount of time you have to yourself, right? But that's kind of what I have to say. again, feel free to just disregard the whole video, man, because I know I'm gonna have some folks who are just like,
man, Chris, none of these tips apply to me. I can do all of this stuff. I can watch all of my shows. I can listen to all of my music, and I can output just fine.
and I'm like, bro, okay, Timmy, my bad. Then in that case, just do that. My fault, Timmy, bro. I love you, man. But like, yeah, that's my thing, though. That's pretty much all I had to say. Again, I really appreciate you guys coming through time and time again on these videos. It really makes a difference. Studies will be posted on Sunday, as always. I'll be back real soon. I am in the process of moving, so there may not be a video next week. I'll try to have something up, but there may not be something. There will be something within the time span of 2 weeks, though. So again, just stay tuned. Again, man, we're getting real close, third quarter of 2024. More than halfway through the year with this art journey stuff in terms of improvement. And I'm super excited to, get to the end and have that recap session with you guys. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, night, or whatever. Hope you got some value out of this video. And yeah, I'm going to talk to you guys in the next one.